Forget about Jim Harbaugh almost went to the Giants. And this was a story that I had like forgotten about basically until I saw it in an article being revisited that this was a thing that almost happened. The Giants almost had Harbaugh as a head coach. I remember hearing about it back when they were interviewing GMs a couple of years ago when we got Schoen. Listen, Schoen was the guy that was considered the top
pick
GM picks available. That it was kind of a get for us to get Schoen and Daboll. I know it doesn't sound like that now, but that's what it seemed like. And I also don't want to know why I just heard a zipper, Rob.
Oh,
sure. I'm
not wearing a fly. Jokes to you. I'm full Anchorman right now.
But anyway, Ian O'Connor had said,
I gotta get this over here.
Oh gosh, Ian O'Connor said on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He said the Giants loved Adam Peters as a GM candidate, but loved Joe Schoen just a bit more. They thought John Harbaugh's guy in Baltimore, Joe Hortiz, was a bit nervous in his interview, but he was going to hire Jim Harbaugh as Giants head coach. What could have been?
A lot.
Yeah, and it made me think when I saw that, because listen, we know obviously what happened with Joe Schoen. The Giants have been going, listen, they had a great season that first season, really surprised us, and then slowly but surely, it's like we're coming down the roller coaster, but in slow motion and having to endure every single foot drop to that point along the way. And if you look at the guys, they just talked about it. The other guys we're looking at, Peters was obviously John Lynch's assistant with the Niners. He went on to become the Commanders GM this past offseason. And the team's definitely had some early success. They're 9-5 right now. We would give our left testicle to be 9-5 right now, to be honest.
Yep.
Hortiz was the Ravens director of pro personnel. He's now the GM for the Chargers, who did hire Jim Harbaugh. And that team is now 8-6.
Yeah. Being a laughing stock last year.
Yeah.
Past couple of years.
Yeah. Well, that's the coach, but that's why they got Harbaugh. I mean, again, none of us were upset when we hired Joe Schoen. I'm not trying to make revisionist history here. Let me be very frank. None of us were upset.
No.
And if anybody claims to be, they're probably lying. I'm sorry. It was a big rejoicement we got him. It was a great get.
Yeah.
Joe Schoen was a solid pick at the time, at least. Brian Daboll, there were some people who weren't as excited about that one. I know we had talked about in the beginning. There was definitely some pause because he hadn't succeeded anywhere but Baltimore. But Daboll was supposed to be the surefire hit. But look back now, and it's not difficult to go, what could have been?
Well, yeah, like I said, it's revives history. Like we look at it, and like you said, Schoen was like the guy to get. He was like your number one draft pick, if you will, and we got him. Like we got the number one overall pick, and then we picked up his guru, if you will, who's supposed to correct this offense, which our offense was lackluster. We look at season one, we're like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm going down, was a free fall terror, whatever it's called, in Six Flags, and my seatbelt just went out.
Oh no, the seatbelt. Listen, I can't even talk about Six Flags like that because whenever I go to Six Flags, I got nervous the last time because of my height. Apparently, I'm too tall to ride the rides.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm
literally too tall to ride the ride. So I went on Medusa and my legs were a little too low and it was freaking me out. And I went on another one. I can't remember which one I went on. I had to I felt like I had to duck my head because it was getting that close.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they say you're not supposed to, I think it's over 6'4", 6'5", or 6'6", somewhere in that range you're supposed to not go. And I'm 6'7", so I'm just over. So I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize there was a strict one until all of a sudden. So somebody brought out that stick that you bring out when you check to see if a kid's is too short to ride the ride. Apparently, there's a stick that comes out on top of it too to verify the person's too tall. So I got told I couldn't go on one of the rides. No.
Was it King in the car? They just tired that.
I'll take my shoes off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll change my diaper.
But anyway, like I said, it's not difficult to go back and go what could have been, because having Jim Harbaugh as the coach would definitely be, I think, an upgrade of what we have at Daboll right now. And then you go ahead with the fact that the Chargers are doing well, the Commanders are doing well. That's the other two guys we could have had. So, just weird to look back on, because we thought we had the right choice, and it's quite obvious that history has shown us we made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.